I recently had the opportunity and the absolute pleasure to interview PlueJ33, a Minecraft web... And I think the worst part about this is that this is going on the second channel, so now I have to keep this in here. Oh, f me. Alright. We'll keep it rolling. This will be harder on me in editing, but you know what? It is what it is. I recently had the opportunity and the absolute pleasure to interview PlueJ33, a Minecraft web series creator who has created a wonderful, emotional, and highly recommended web series which details her struggle to come to terms. I recently had the opportunity and the absolute pleasure to interview PlueJ33, a Minecraft web series creator who has created a wonderful, emotional, and highly recommended web series which details her struggles to come to terms with reality after a tragic accident, enduring hardships. Jesus. Oh, S's. Alright. It's just the intro, come on, you got this. I recently had the opportunity and the absolute pleasure to interview PlueJ33, a Minecraft web series creator who has created a wonderful, emotional, and highly recommended web series which details her struggle to come to terms with reality after a tragic accident, enduring hardships with forgiveness, and the weight of feeling stuck and unable to move forward. Be warned, this interview will contain spoilers to important aspects of the web series, so I highly recommend that you check out... I think I'm just gonna redo that. I feel like I'm getting in the... Maybe I just need some water. Christ. I think this will be edited a little bit because I don't know if you guys want to hear every single thing that's going on in the background. Okay. Alright. Also, it's been a little bit since I recorded anything too, that's probably part of it. Alright, let's get it going. Be warned, this interview will contain spoilers to important aspects of the web series, so I highly recommend that you either check out my supercut video of this web series or check out PlueJ33. For this interview, we both agreed... Nope. For this interview, we both agreed that we wanted it to be a relaxed and fun interview where I would send in questions for her to answer. Then she would send back a text file of answers to the questions. I had that too, that's so bad. Me. An absolute huge shout out to her. Huge shout out to her for accepting this interview, and thank you for your time in answering these questions. If you have any other questions for her, Alright. Christ. I'm your host, Respawn Raccoon, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Oh wait, no, I'm Despawn Raccoon. I'm your host, Despawn Raccoon. God, that sounds so fucking weird. I'll just use Despawn Raccoon, I'll just go with that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep it Respawn Raccoon, I don't give a... I'm your host, Respawn Raccoon, and I'll see everyone in the next one. I'm your host. Let's just do the normal outro, I think that's easier. My name is Respawn Raccoon, and I'll see everyone in the next one. Alright. Questions. Now, I have not really read the questions, or I haven't read the answers, so I'm hoping I can kind of get like genuine thoughts and reactions on this. So, alright, so to kick off this interview, we have the first question, which is, how are you holding up? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so to kick off this interview, we have the very first question, which is, how are you holding up after everything? And she answered, I'm holding up fine. I've learned lots of things and have been happy overall, which is absolutely great to hear. I am very happy that you are doing well, especially with everything that has happened in your web series. So that is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm very happy for you, and I'm absolutely very sure that everybody else is very happy for you as well. I don't know, that answer... Damn, maybe I shouldn't be winging this, but honestly, it is what it is. It's too late. We're gonna do that question. Christ almighty. God, I think it's gonna have to be some fucking video. It is what it is. I'll just make it its own video. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fuck up a lot. Anyway, All right, so number 3. This is going to be kind of a long-winded question, and this is, I would say, based on... So number 3 is going to be kind of a long-winded question, and so let me... All right. So question 3 is going to be kind of a long one, so let me try to explain everything real quick. So there was a theory that I saw in the comments about why the date of the accident was June 15th, 2021. And I actually did my own research on this, and if you happen to search up drowning accidents on June 15th, 2021, and just for clarification, this is drowning accidents in America. I'm based in Texas in America, so this is strictly based on my search. So if you search up drowning accidents on June 15, 2021, we actually do see a website for a eulogy of someone named Damian K. Blights, I believe is the last name, age 17 at the time of the accident. The funeral service was conducted by Bakken Young Funeral and Cremation Services, located in New Richmond, Wisconsin. If we look around on something such as Google Maps, if you scroll up a bit, you actually see a body of water and a small bridge that goes over this body of water. I myself never put this information in my videos because I wasn't 100% sure if this had significance to the story or not, or if, you know, maybe it was just a coincidence of some kind. But because there wasn't any definitive proof for this, despite everything being a coincidence in terms of a bridge, a body of water, and, you know, a tragic drowning accident, I never put it in the video. I think I'm just going to redo that. Jesus Christ, I stumbled through that. All right. Question number 4 is, before my part 1 video released, it felt like you had reached a point where the story felt fairly complete and it had an ending that many saw as either you moving on after being forgiven right... Oh, I'm going to have to redo that. Christ almighty. And Repoc... Oh, no, not Repoc. Jesus Christ. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on to question number 5, which is, there were references to powder a few times in... All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and move on to question number 5, which is, there were references to powder a few times in your story. My understanding of this was that powder refers... Damn, I don't think that shrimp is set. No. And to this, Blue Jay has responded, the powder in the story is in fact referring to cocaine, and it has an important role in the... So which makes sense because I still am under the belief that the powder did have a very big role in playing, it helped play a big role in... I do agree, I think, with that in terms of... So I do think I see that kind of makes sense, actually. Okay, yeah, so this is in reference to when Blue Jay was in that structure, basically mining for 12 days straight, more or less, is what the videos had implied. And because of that, there was this idea that she was supposed to mine for 12 days. She is able to escape. Okay, I think I'm gonna redo that. I lost my train of thought on that. Okay. You almost got every... And to that, Blue Jay responds, you almost got every major thing down, but the fact... So there were quite a few questions. We definitely have the #1 Blue Jay fan coming in and giving, I think, what was it, 8 questions? Yeah, it was 8 questions. So, yeah, so there's 8 questions there, and then we have a couple more after that. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop into the questions from Discord. So, question 1 is, so these 8 questions are actually going to be from Pavu, which is, I guess, her #1 Blue Jay 33 fan. Based on all the talks that we've had. So, yeah, let's just get into her questions. So the first 8 questions are actually going to come from Pavu, known as... And to that, Blue Jay answers, they were friends before the incident. In Repoc's tutorial video, you can see Blue... All right. Which is a very fair interpretation, I think. I do think it's very valid that, you know, Blue Jay never waking up from the Trapped in Copper video, I think could make sense. I think it's a very valid theory. I think I'm just gonna redo that. I don't like that. I don't like how I did that. All right, question number 5, or question number 6. What is the creator's favorite theory about the ARG, and what inspired the creator to make this ARG? And to that, Pluj responds, my favorite theory, although I haven't heard many, was from a friend of mine. They basically said that Pluj never woke up from the Trapped in Copper video, the whole forgiving thing was all fake, and that her mind is just projecting what she wants. The thing that inspired me to make the series was my own personal experiences and a lot of boredom.